Like, what exactly is happening here?
89.7 WTBR FM, Pittsfield.
Welcome to Haunted Hammer on WTBR. This show is not for the faint of heart. Join us for the fright of your life. And now, the hosts of Hammond, Peter and Jessica.
And happy Halloween from
Morning, everybody. Happy Halloween.
From WTBR FM.
Oh, yes. How are you?
It's Halloween Eve.
Time for all the spookiness and goblins come out. Oh, yay.
Big show today.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a guest. Our guest was the paranormal people, the New England Paranormal Research, and they had an emergency in the family, so they will not be here. But we are here.
And we pray that everybody is okay for that family emergency.
And we are here, so we're gonna have some fun. We have some ghost stories. We have some things that we're gonna get done. So happy Halloween from
Halloween,
the cast
everybody.
and crew here at WTBR FM.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna start off. You got a ghost story for us, I do believe.
Oh, yes. A 70-year-old radio at a Scottish Heritage Center has been picking up vintage broadcasts featuring Winston Churchill and the voice of Glenn Meyer.
Wait, 1 second.
Miller.
We have a thunderstorm in the studio?
I don't know.
Weird. Things just came on here. Okay.
Very, very ominous.
Continue.
As I was saying, the Vale Wireless at Montrose Air Station, a heritage center that tells the story of the men and women who served there, the radio has no power and is not connected, therefore it's not connected to any source of electricity. But yet it's broadcasting. It's weird. The area has been a source of paranormal sightings and sounds for almost a century, with reports of ghostly figures, eerie footsteps, door handles turning. But the mysterious wireless broadcasts.
Are you hearing these strange things happening in the studio here?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just want to make sure it just wasn't me. It's weird things going on in the studio this morning.
No, some very weird stuff has been happening. It's very weird.
Okay, continue. I'm going to try to track down the source of the weird stuff.
When the mysterious wireless broadcast had even the most skeptic of staff searching for a rational explanation. Even the skeptics are like, how is that even possible? The vintage radio set is kept in a recreation of a 940s room. Now I'm hearing bells. Strange, very strange.
Very strange.
Very strange indeed.
It's Halloween at WTBR. Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, yes. Several people have heard Second World War era broadcasts during the big band sound, including the big band sound of the Glenn Meyer Orchestra and speeches of Winston Churchill. What? A radio is possessed? That's some weird stuff.
Yes. Even ghost broadcasts from strange radios long ago. You never know.
Here's the thing. The broadcasts come on at random and can last up for a half an hour. Technicians who examined it removed the back, but found nothing but cobwebs and spiders. The trustee of
The cat's got her tongue. The ghost took her tongue. The trustees, yes, the trustee of the radio station. Go ahead.
trustee of the Air Station Heritage Center, Bob Sutherland, and its treasurer said, I've been hearing it play Glenn Meyer and recognize the song as At Last. Interesting. The volume was very low, but the music was quite identifiable. And other volunteers that work the Heritage Center have heard the Winston Churchill speeches, and they're still trying to find a logical explanation for this, which apparently they haven't found yet. I mean, they've removed the back and everything from it. It's just...
Well, why does there have to be a logical explanation, especially now?
Especially. I mean, I've heard of ghosts possessing, like, dolls and...
Ghosts can possess anything, and I think they've possessed the studio this morning because I couldn't track down the weird sounds that are happening in the studio.
Neither could I.
Is that the end of your story?
Yeah, that's the end of, end of that one.
So here's a trivia question for you. We all know the 1970s commercial for the Tootsie Roll Pops.
Oh, yeah.
The ego effect, the owl, and the guy saying, Mr. Owl, how many
licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
The world may never know. The world knows, and we will tell you. How many licks do you think does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Well,
and it's more than 3.
Well, they always goes 1 to 2 to 3 and then crunches it. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't technically lick it. So hey. Do
you want to know what the answer is? Should we put the answer out now, or should we put? Because I got 2 trivia questions. Should we do it now?
Well, if you got 2 of them, why don't we put the one out? I
guess the ghost didn't like that idea.
I guess not. Well, for my idea, I think it's like 100 and something would work that.
So we should put it out now, and then we'll do the other one. So how many licks does it take on average to reach the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? And I want to know who actually figured this out. The answer is 252.
252 licks?
252 licks on the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop.
If the Tootsie Roll Company is giving out lollipops for people to test that theory, hey, I'm over here. Give me one.
By the way, November 19th is the WTBR One Day fundraiser.
Oh, yes.
We will be here working the bake sale, and we will be on the air all day.
Yes,
so,
we will. We will be.
You never know what Ham-On's going to bring to the fundraiser, but we will be here around 8 o'clock. The bake sale, I think, starts around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and come down and buy something from the bake sale.
Oh, yes. There will be cookies and cupcakes.
We'll be right over here in the lobby.
Right there.
We'll be in the lobby of Spectrum TV.
Yes,
and,
we will.
We'll be having fun. We will be on the air, and maybe we can get some people on the air and have some fun with them.
Maybe. But yeah, if you're interested in our bake sale, please come.
Yes, that's November 19th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. here at the WTBR PCTV studios. Our one-day fundraiser.
Apparently, they're upset it's one day.
Apparently, somebody's upset that it's one day, that we couldn't do 2 or 3 days.
Apparently.
Another haunted story here. That's the wrong one. That's fine. That's for later. Let's find this one. Okay.
The ghosts have caused technical difficulties.
The ghosts are causing us problems in the studio today. This story is by Brian, N4TRB, and was inspired by an October 1932 article he read in QST by Don Mix. Brian's story is called Whiskey November Papa, A Tale for Halloween. Had it not been a dark and stormy night like Halloween is actually going to be, because Halloween is tomorrow night, it's actually going to be dark and stormy.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't even have had been in my ham shack. It was Halloween after all, and ordinarily I'd have been handing out candy to the variable parade of midget monsters and diminutive divas at my front door. But it was dark and stormy, so eventually I drifted into the radio room. Knowing that I might have to jump up at any moment to make a run for the front door, I dared not start a rag chew with the big rig. Instead, I decided this was a good evening to fire up the old antique and hear our bands through the unique circuitry of a 1930-something regen. As the tubes warmed up, I settled into my chair at the vintage operating position in my shack. Gradually, the speaker came to life, and weak CW signals could be discerned. Though a bit of a low-band QRN, I confess that at first I didn't pay close attention. I simply enjoyed the lack of selectivity in this old receiver that allowed me to hear quite a few QSOs simultaneously, each with their distinctive notes. Even with my mind wandering amongst thoughts of Halloween and glowing vacuum tubes, I have consciously started paying attention to the call signs coming through this old radio. A radio, incidentally, that had virtually no bandpass filtering. With a radio of this vintage, I had to use the same skills as the ancient ones. Filtration was provided by human brain. It takes a real concentration to sort out signals and follow a single QSO. Surprisingly, it is possible. After a few minutes, it seemed almost natural to select one signal and concentrate solely on that conversation. So with my attention riveted to the QSO, it was a bit surprising that I gradually became aware of another transmission, a strange wavering signal that drifted in and out of my consciousness. It was always in the background, just a dB or two above the noise floor. Sometimes it was 0 beat and a few characters were readily copied. Other times the notes would waver to a higher or lower audio frequency and drift out of my mental pass band. Suddenly I copied a fragment of code that took my breath away. For a moment the musical note was 0 beat, and I clearly copied 1ANA DWNP. My first thought was that I had missed a few characters. Surely there must have been a W or a K in front of the 1ANA and WNP. Couldn't be an amateur call. It was missing the numeral. But almost as soon as these
I hear wolves. Interesting.
We told you, weird stuff going on in the studio today.
Oh, I know.
You have to figure
crazy
it out.
stuff.
I think we'll be okay.
I think so.
We've got awesome technology here. I think.
Well, it is Haunted Ham On. So
well, it is Haunted Ham On. Yes, you are listening to Haunted Ham On WTBR FM. But almost as soon as these thoughts formed in my mind, I realized these calls were indeed familiar. Even famous. Familiar and famous. They might be, but equally impossible that I could be copying them. Fans of early radio know these famous calls. WMP was the station aboard the Bodwin, a legendary schooner that in 1923 carried the Macmillan Arctic expedition and established the first radio contact from Arctic explorers in the frozen north. What a revolution. Prior to the Bodwin's success with radio, Arctic expeditions simply disappeared from public perception. For months and even years, were locked in the Arctic ice. I couldn't believe my ears. Was this a hoax? Was I dreaming? If a hoax, it was certainly elaborate. The signals sounded authentic. Now I realized why the notes were wavering and musical. They weren't crystal controlled. A transmitter from 1923 would probably be something on the order of a two-tube Hartley oscillator. Frequency was determined by tuned circuits in the output stages, and those output stages included the antenna. Under windy conditions, the frequency changed with the gusts of wind. These signals were wandering around the band such that only my ancient receiver could have picked them up. My modern big rig, even with all the filters wide open, would have been way too selective to follow this drift. Listening to the notes, I imagined the cold, howling winds that drove these musical tones. I copied more code, latitude 79 degrees north. All well aboard the Bodwin, locked in the ice, ready for winter, layover, received news from NAA, signals more reliable with the almost continued darkness. Whether hoax or not, the feeling was electric. I had goosebumps and the hair on my neck stood up. I didn't question. Whatever was happening was beyond reason. I just copied and my heart went out to these steadfast operators who labored under such challenging conditions to advance the art of radio science and create an eternal bridge across thousands of miles separating explorers from home and loved ones. Suddenly again I was startled. What's that noise? There it is again. Oh, the doorbell. I glanced at my watch, 21:30. That meant the neighborhood teens in their hastily improvised Halloween costumes had arrived. To clean up the remaining candy in the bowl, I welcomed their efforts and achieved my goal of getting those sweet temptations out of the house. Then I raced back to the shack just in time to catch the last couple of characters of this precious musical signal. 73 OM, WNP, now QRT. Then there was nothing to be heard but static crashes. The band was dead. Mm-hmm. So from a 1932 article about something they did and they heard in 1912. And we will be back. We'll go to a commercial break here, and then we will be back with more Haunted Ham On.
You're listening to Haunted Ham On and WTBR.
Support for WTBR comes from Cranwell Resort, home of Sloan's Tavern, featuring light fare and a large selection of imported and domestic beers. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Find their menu online at cranwell.com.
Tuesday is election night, and Pittsfield Community Television and WTBR-FM have you covered. Starting at 8 p.m. on PCTV, CityLink Cable Channel 1303, David Cachet will be live.
WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, mostly cloudy. Isolated showers this afternoon. Highs in the lower 60s. South wind around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. Tonight, cloudy with scattered showers. Lows in the mid-50s. Southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday, showers likely in the morning, then rain in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 60s. South wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Weather forecasts for WTBR-FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
Support for WTBR comes from Cranwell Resort, home of Sloan's Tavern, featuring light fare and a large selection of imported and domestic beers. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Find their menu online at cranwell.com.
Tuesday is election night, and Pittsfield Community Television and WTBR-FM have you covered. Starting at 8 p.m. on PCTV, CityLink Cable Channel 1303, David Cachet will be live, bringing you the fastest election results in Pittsfield. Live outside of Pittsfield? You can also watch on Facebook Live on Pittsfield Community Television's Facebook page. And of course, right here on WTBR 89.7 FM.
Support for WTBR.
Hi, everybody. This is Geddy Lee for RAD. To many of us, drunk driving is something that other people do. Certainly not one of our friends or relatives would do such a thing. When you see someone who's had too much to drink, about to get into a car, urge them to give up the keys and find alternate transportation. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives. You should too.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
We would be honored if you would join us.
WTBR. To have you sitting here and not do your part on Thriller would be a sin, which you've never done on television.
Never done it.
No, I know. I beg you.
Well, all right, I will.
All right.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down or stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grizzled ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
And we're back on WTBR FM. What would Halloween be without Vincent Price and the thriller rap from Johnny Carson's show that was hosted by Joan Rivers back in 1984?
Well, you can't go wrong without Vincent Price.
Can't go wrong without Vincent Price, the late great Vincent Price. We have so much to talk about. We're here's another little Halloween trivia we should have done earlier. So, what do the colors black and orange signify? And we'll tell you what that means at the end. So let's talk about. We have a little talking point here where they want to move Halloween to a Saturday.
No. I'm sorry, no. Keep Halloween the way it is and just set up times like everybody else is doing for trick-or-treating. Why not just do that?
Well, this year it may even be tonight or Saturday because unfortunately
apparently no, they don't want that.
Apparently. Here we go again. But Halloween is probably going to be rained out tomorrow night.
Oh, I know.
And the fun part about this show will be rebroadcast Halloween night at 8 o'clock. So you can sit by after you're done watching your Halloween movies. And what Halloween movies does everybody think is their favorite? Is it Hocus Pocus?
Oh,
Is it the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I have a...
Is it Halloween?
For me,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
For me, I have a ton of favorite ones. Of course,
well, you are a horror junkie because you read Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
and you see most of everything he's done. The People Under the Stairs, Children of the Corn, Cat's Eye, Pet Sematary.
Yes.
So, yeah,
I would have to be biased and go with Pet Sematary. I would have to be biased and either go with 3 of them. Rocky Horror Picture Show, for me. Pet Sematary, or Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are my 3 go-tos. The other one that would be my top 4 would have to be Hocus Pocus. You gotta have a comedy in with the horrors. Okay, I'm weird.
And tomorrow night, what are we doing? We are doing our, I think, 28th year, 29th year of screening.
Oh, yes.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight on Halloween night.
Hey, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I think we wore out the VHS version of it, and now we're moving on to the...
we shredded that poor thing to death.
So, now we did the ham radio stories, and we have no guests today, so we're kind of winging this. Do you have any personal or any Halloween horror stories that you want to put out?
Yeah, me personally? Me?
You're the only you among the ghosts that are lingering around the studio here, but I'm not asking them.
Hey, you know what? I had to ask, apparently there's some weird sounds going around in here, so I had to ask, I had to make sure. Yes, I do have one, actually, and the funniest thing is, it wasn't even October when it happened, it was September. When we were getting ready to volunteer for Albany's, one of Albany's events was called Larkfest. Larkfest is a 2 to 3 day event where they lock down the street which is Lark Street, and they play music. They have arts and crafts. It's like a third Thursday here. It's pretty much what it is. It's Albany's equivalent to a third Thursday. Anyways, we had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning in order to do this. And I'm just, excuse me, sorry, cough. Very bad cold. I went ahead and was getting ready to wake up. I was still asleep. It was around 4:30 in the morning, I think. And I hear this voice. It sounded like my father. I thought it was my father, except it was a few octaves lower. Again, cold. Sorry for the sniffling sound. And he sits there, and when I'm missing a beat, I hear, "Jessica, get up. You're going to be late." I mean, it wasn't even said to me. It was yelled at me. And I thought, okay, Dad's up. He's telling me to get up because we had to be there by 5. I get up, and I sit there, and I go, "Okay, Dad, no problem." Got up. Went ahead and looked around after I got dressed. I'm like, okay, maybe Dad's in the bathroom because, I haven't seen him. Okay, cool.
I think somebody's doing laps.
I think someone. And I'm waiting for Dad to come out, come out of the bathroom so that way I can tell him, hey, I'm up, I'm ready, and everything. Dad's not in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, what the heck? Come to find out, he was still sleeping and Mom was getting him. Mom was waking him up. So, it wasn't my father that did that. It wasn't my father that yelled, "Jessica, get up." And I swear to all that is holy, I heard what I thought was my father. The only thing I can think of is maybe it was my grandfather. That's the only one, according to Dad, that sounds like him, that has a deeper pitch in his voice. Dad?
Yeah, where we used to live actually was the building was in downtown Albany. It was really Fort Orange back in the colonial war days. And we've had a few stories. One of our third floor tenants came down one day and said that she turned the TV off because she was cleaning or something, and she saw a guy in colonial dress with a 3-corner hat walking around the building. And then there was stories when we first moved in, the total building was empty. It was just us over there. We were rehabbing it. And I know the whole building was empty. And
yeah.
We know the building was empty. And I heard this conversation in the hallway, just like we're having a conversation here now. But we heard this conversation in the hallway. And it was a one-way conversation, like a guy on the phone or something. And it was clear as day. And he sounded like he was in his 30s. And talking to somebody on the phone. So I go up there because nobody's supposed to be in the building. We're the only ones in the building, and nobody was up there. So there's a lot of haunted places.
Yeah, I remember that you said what you heard was yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'll be home soon.
And speaking of haunted places. There is history, there is mystery, and the great state of Massachusetts is no exception. When you look beyond the famed historical landmarks, architectural wonders, and popular attractions, there is darkness and tragedy, spirits of the dead and lost souls who wander about the buildings, streets, parks, graveyards, and open spaces, never wishing to transition to their next life. If you're ever traveling to Boston, be sure to experience the Ghosts and Gravestones Haunted Tour. As the most haunted city in the Northeast, you're going to want to explore the treacherous grounds with a guide and a group. So let's break down.
Oh, I wouldn't have no doubt that Boston has history like that. I wouldn't have any doubt.
Let's break down the top 5 most haunted places in Massachusetts. Let's start with Salem.
Oh yeah,
Of course,
That
the
was a give. That's a give me.
The Witch City, just 17 miles north of Boston. This small city was founded in 1626 and began as a simple religious town with a peaceful communal way of life. Everything changed in 1692 when hysteria and fear spread through the community in what we all know as the Salem witch trials. Hundreds of local people were accused of witchcraft and subsequently tried, imprisoned, and condemned. 19 of the convicted men and women were executed by public hanging.
See, it wasn't just women, it was also guys.
And the 20th, an elderly man named Giles Corey was pressed to death with large stones. It was a harrowing time when regular folks were afraid of dark magic, of their neighbors and friends, and even more so of being the next to die. It's this tragic history that has led to the numerous accounts of hauntings. Some of the city's most haunted spots include the old Burying Point Cemetery, one of the oldest burial grounds in Massachusetts, the Salem Hospital, the Salem Jail, the Salem State College, St. Mary's Cemetery, Joshua Ward House, Gallows Hills, and others.
Well, yeah, I can kind of give you the one that says Gallows Hills.
You think? The Hoffman Mansion in North Adams. The Hoffman Mansion was built in 1890 by Albert Charles Hoffman, a former mayor of North Adams. The historic building has been called one of the scariest places in New England, and with good reason. During tours, guests have reported hearing footsteps and voices when no one else was in sight. Flickering lights, loud knocking, and ghostly shadows have all been witnessed, and you're listening to Haunted Ham On. Look at this. You're listening to Haunted Ham On WTBR FM. Happy Halloween. Paranormal experts believe that Haunted himself haunts the house. He died there after suffering fatal injuries from a car accident. His driver also died in the mansion after shooting himself out of guilt after the accident. Investigators regularly visit the Haunted Mansion, and you can too. Walking tours are available. So give them a call and let them know that you want to go there, and they'll give you the prices and all that. But walking tours are available. I know you have a couple that you want to put out there. You've been itching for here all morning. So we'll let you do your thing. What do you got over there? Hope it's something good.
Well, one of them you would probably know by the famous poem, which would be, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
You know, it's funny, you scared me because you actually did that from memory and not on your papers in front of you. So, I don't know, I still got to go home with you in a little while. Man, I have to rethink today. It's like doing the Freddy thing. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. There, now we're even. Because we did that from memory too.
Yes. And that is the weirdest thing that I actually do remember that, because it just sticks in your head. The Lizzie Borden, one of the other places to check out is the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast at Fall River, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go there because I just want to be one of those people who want to be in the Lizzie Borden house and have it as a bed and breakfast.
And, of course, most people know the tale of Lizzie Borden. Hello. And in 1892, her parents, Andrew and Abby Borden, were found brutally murdered in their home in Fall River, Massachusetts. The couple's youngest daughter, Lizzie, was accused of the violent crime and soon was put on trial in an event that became a spectacle across the state. You wonder why. I mean, come on, hello. Details.
The hints of that, I don't know if you got to that part yet, but the hints of that is she was acquitted of the crime.
Yes, I was just getting to that. She was, although acquitted, Lizzie Borden's name became known across the world and associated with the reprehensible act that killed her parents. I mean, hello, poem, right away. Throughout the horrific past, visitors to the Lizzie Borden house have felt cold fingers tapping them on the shoulder, heard footsteps coming from empty rooms. A ghostly apparition of a woman in Victorian-era clothing has been seen. Stop in for a tour if you're brave enough. But stop in a tour, or if you're brave enough, book an overnight stay at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast.
Yeah, everybody call that up and let's book some nights there. That's like in California, okay? Universal Studios does their Halloween horror nights.
Oh God, yes.
And what
Yes,
they used to do, because on the back lot of Universal Studios is actually the Bates Motel and the actual Psycho House. What people don't know, at least from this end, but we know it in California, is that room 1 on the back lot of the Bates Motel is actually a working motel room. Okay, so you go to Hollywood Horror Nights, and they'd actually draw a lottery, and somebody would be lucky enough to spend the night. What are you pointing at me for? Somebody would be lucky enough to spend the night at Universal Studios backlot in the Bates Motel. And yes, 1 year I actually did win that lottery. And this is after the Halloween Horror Nights is over for the night. They shut off all the lights. They you can order your pizzas or whatever before the lights go off and whatever. But they take you to the Bates Motel. The only lights on in Universal Studios at the time is up in the house and the Bates Motel. Room 1 of the Bates Motel is a working motel room. So
just don't take a shower. Just don't take a shower.
So imagine, if you will, being on the back lot by yourself at Universal Studios Hollywood for the entire Halloween night, and the only lights you have is from the house and the Bates Motel.
Oh, that is creepy. Oh, that is creepy. That's some creepy stuff, man.
And it is. I mean, you get there at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, there's nobody to talk to. I mean, you do have cell phone access. And why are you screaming over there in the corner?
I'm not screaming, dude.
What's going on over there? What's happening?
You saw my hand cover my face. I'm not screaming, man.
What's happening on your side of the desk over here?
I don't know.
But yeah, and you're there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and nothing's going on. Nobody's around, and you look at the shower and you say, "Yeah, can I live the night without a shower, or should I attempt to get in there?"
Then that's when you just go, "I can live without a shower until I actually get home." I'm sorry, my thoughts would be no, just no.
Don't worry about the little red light. You're still on the air.
I saw it go out. I'm like, what?
Yeah, little red lights are going out here, and then things are clicking off, and all kinds of things are happening.
That's scary.
Is that all you have over there?
No.
Oh, you have more. Okay, let me do this one.
More.
All right, let me do this one, then we'll do the other one. The USS Salem was built in 1945 and 1949, and although it never saw a battle, it was instrumental during the Cold War. The former Navy cruiser is now a museum ship and open to the public for tours and events. Those who visit get much more than a fascinating history lesson. They get a chance to have an encounter with the many spirits that inhabit the famous ship, featured on TV's Ghost Hunters, along with the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary they invested the Queen Mary a few times too.
Yes, they did.
I think we'll get back to the story in just a minute. We got to put this. We got plenty of time here. So they do. You can, during the Halloween season, like now, you can get tickets and go on to the Haunted Queen Mary. Just like we're in the studio here at Haunted Ham On WTBR FM, and we're talking Halloween and ghost stories.
Of course, why not? 'Tis the season.
So yeah, ghost hunters have actually been
Yes.
to the Queen Mary a few times.
Yes, they have.
And they did pull some EVPs out of there, and they did pull some stuff out of there.
And for people that don't know what EVPs are, is electric voice phenomenon.
So the USS Salem is one of the most haunted ships. Almost everyone who has visited has a paranormal experience. Apparitions have been spotted throughout the ship. The spirits of women in the birthing room have been seen, and the
that's
sound
scary.
of a woman screaming, like we kind of have here in the studio. Maybe she followed us here.
Maybe.
Get It Out was recorded using an electronic voice phenomenon, which just said what EVPs are. Other ghosts roam the decks. Deck hatches bang violently open and shut. Things go bump in the night, and a shadowy figure looms in the machinery room. Among other inexplicable occurrences, USS Salem is a popular site for ghost hunters and paranormal experts, and offers the public a chance to do their own investigations with tours, hunts, and even special Halloween events. So if you can get a chance, I think you can look them up online and go visit them, especially Halloween. Halloween's a good time for that this season.
If I'm not mistaken, the Queen Mary's in Long Beach.
Queen Mary in Long Beach. So if anybody's visiting Long Beach or listening to us on TuneIn in California, if you go to Long Beach, go to visit the Queen Mary.
We've actually seen the Queen Mary when we were in California, actually.
If you dare,
a beautiful
go
sight.
see the Queen Mary.
On the outside, she's beautiful. Inside,
well,
scary as
you know,
hell, probably.
in Hollywood they do the Halloween tours as well.
Oh, yeah.
They'll take you up to the Hollywood sign up on the Mount Lee up there, where a lot of actresses and wannabe actresses, and people who thought they were going to make it big in Hollywood by hanging out on Hollywood and Vine leaped to their death from the top of the Hollywood sign. The Cecil Hotel.
Oh God.
The Cecil Hotel has a brave. I think they did a story on TV the other night about the Cecil Hotel, the murders that happened in the Cecil Hotel. And if you go up to
there's horrors at the Cecil Hotel. I think I don't know.
Yeah, and up in the Santa Monica Mountains, if it's still there, the hotel that was made famous by the 1982 Eagles album, Hotel California.
Oh, yeah.
So, what else you have over there in the world of the haunted? And I still got to trace these sounds down, because this is it's been happening all day on the radio station here. So I have maybe it's somebody in the back pumping stuff in. I don't know.
I don't know. It's some scary stuff. Yes, the Hoosick Tunnel in North Adams. Ooh. A railroad tunnel built in the 1800s. The Hoosick Tunnel, nicknamed the Bloody Pit. Yeah, that's something you don't want to nickname something. Is Bloody Pit. Come on. The dreaded structure took 25 years to build, during which 190 people were killed. Wow, Another 30 were killed after the tunnel opened, and several tragedies had occurred inside the tunnel. Now I see why it got its reputation. Holy crap. Including an explosion in the shaft that killed 13 miners. Legend has it that you can hear the cries of agony coming from the inside of the tunnel, and people have seen the ghosts of the miners and floating lanterns lighting up the darkness within.
I think the Goonies are talking in the background here.
I think so. What the heck?
Go ahead.
But, oh my goodness. And also another thing that I have a little trivia for you. If you
Okay, why don't you save your little trivia? We're going to go to the commercial break.
All right.
And then you can save your little trivia until we come out of the commercial break.
Gotcha.
This is Haunted Ham On on WTBR FM.
Don't be stupid with your skin. It's the only skin you're in. Know what's good and bad to do. Find the right and wrong for you. It's time you learn what it's about. 'Cause indoor tanning is out. UV lamps from a tanning bed, they can turn your skin beet red. Wrinkles come from the UV light, and age spots make you a frightful sight. With UV light, it gets worse. Skin cancer is a wicked curse. Don't be the one that's tan and dead. Use your brain, use your head. It's time you learn what it's about. 'Cause indoor tanning is out. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Berkshire weather. Berkshire weather.
Have you ever walked by a homeless person and asked yourself, what can one person really do to help? Well, in AmeriCorps you can do a lot. You can take a year and really give back. More than 50,000 Americans are doing it this year, helping solve tough issues like hunger, illiteracy, or just helping people find a place to live. It's your world. It's your chance to make it better.
Call 800-942-2677 or go to AmeriCorps.org.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Underwriters are so important for keeping this station alive. Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. I'd like to thank our local businesses for supporting Pittsfield Community Radio and for believing in the mission of the station. When you hear underwriting messages on the air, you know those companies support WTBR-FM. If you're listening now and your business would like to join in and support us, call me today at 445-4234 and get involved, or visit us at WTBRFM.com. It will make all the difference.
WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, mostly cloudy. Isolated showers this afternoon. Highs in the lower 60s. South wind around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. Tonight, cloudy with scattered showers. Lows in the mid-50s. Southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday, showers likely in the morning, then rain in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 60s. South wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Weather forecasts for WTBR-FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
WTBR. Impressive. Most impressive.
Okay, after a little couple of technical snafus there, caused by God knows what's going on here today.
Yeah, I know. I know, and it's been crazy.
All right, so our next one, we're back. You're listening to Haunted Ham On, and this studio's really has been haunted today. Things really weird going on here. Let's do this.
Whoa, like, what exactly is happening here?
89.7 WTBR FM.
See, even the computers don't know what's going on today. It's been one of those days. All right, back to the most haunted places in Massachusetts. Here we are with the Bridgewater Triangle in southeastern Massachusetts. We've all heard of the Bermuda Triangle, that watery grave where Amelia Earhart and others mysteriously vanished. But Massachusetts has its own unexplained phenomena. It's the Bridgewater Triangle, so named by paranormal researcher Loren Coleman in his 1983 book, Mysterious America. The Bridgewater Triangle comprises 200 square miles and 17 towns of Abington, Freetown, and Rebolth serve as the tips of the triangle. The Triangle harbors oodles of bizarre supernatural tales. A huge black killer dog spotted in Abington in 1976. UFO sightings. George the Ghost. He frequents the Bridgewater State University. Tall winged creatures, moving orbs of light, and even Bigfoot. Do you need more proof that the Triangle is haunted? How about stories of mutilated cattle, a strange hitchhiker, and a large light tan cat the size of a Great Dane called Mansfield Mystery Cat. A TV series about the Bridgewater Triangle will eventually hit FX too. So its reputation won't fade anytime soon. The Spidergate Cemetery in Leicester. Spidergate Cemetery or Quaker Cemetery or Friends Cemetery, I don't think we're talking about the TV show Friends here, was founded in 1740. The black metal arms of its iron gates, which arrived in 1895, were meant to resemble the sun's rays, but instead remind people of the spider webs, hence the name. You can even visit the 8th gate to hell. Here, if you're interested, legend says if you go through the other 7 gates of the cemetery, which aren't really there, then enter Spider Gates, which is the 8th door. Is this all like Beetlejuice? Remember when they go down the hallway?
Yeah.
Remember that in Beetlejuice, they go down the hallway and go to the 7th door.
Yes.
It will lead you to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. At the crossroads up ahead, your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can remember from memory.
See how our childhood was, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The altar is allegedly the site of satanic rituals, and someone was allegedly hanged there. Spider Gates is also home to Marmaduke Earl's gravesite, where people leave coins to hear Marmaduke talk. Leave some change, say his name 10 times while walking around his grave, then listen. I'm really starting to think that's where they got the idea for Beetlejuice, because what do you have to do to bring Beetlejuice out?
Say his name three times.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And Michael Keaton will appear. In West Bridgewater, the Hockomock Swamp. I swear that's what it says out here, the Hockomock Swamp. It's right there in the name, Hockomock, a Algonquin for place where spirits dwell. Native Americans through the swamp was magical, but it freaked Puritans out. They called it the Devil's Swamp and the Devil's Bowl. It's the site of an old burial ground, so naturally poltergeist-like spirits could bubble up from the netherworld in any moment. Turtles as big as Volkswagen Beetles and monster snakes. Oh, my. And lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Yeah, we'll just go to the Wizard
seriously.
of Oz. We'll go everywhere.
Why not?
Then there are the Pukwudgies in Wampanoag. Folklore. The name translates to Little Wild Man on the Woods that Vanishes. Pukwudgies can make fire, use magic, and appear and disappear whenever they like. They like to push people off cliffs, attack them with spears, and kidnap them. Paranormal researcher Christopher Pittman says that whenever he's at the swamp, he feels like he's being watched. People who know the area will get lost in there and never come out. Was it the Pukwudgies, or was it the Goonies, or was it where those things you can't feed after midnight?
Gremlins.
The Gremlins. Yeah, he's also.
Well, if you wanted to go there, it was actually the Mugwai that you couldn't feed after midnight.
The Pukwudgies, the Mugwai, they're all the same thing, I do believe.
That's the thing. It wasn't Gremlin. They turned into Gremlins if you fed them after midnight. You couldn't get them wet. They couldn't have bright lights, and you couldn't feed them after midnight. Those were the 3 rules of having a Mugwai. So, yes, I remember that.
So if you had your chance to go to even the stuff we mentioned or stuff that didn't get mentioned, if you had your chance to go to any haunted place in this country or even out of this country, like Vlad's Castle in Transylvania,
no.
Where would you go on Halloween night to what you think would be your most haunted place?
The most haunted place. Let me see. I've heard of Vlad's Castle being crazy haunted, but I personally, no. I would probably have a heart attack and die being in Vlad's Castle overnight in Halloween. The most haunted I would have to say, in the place that I would be most weirded out, would have to be Amityville. The Amityville Horror House. That place would just freak me out completely out.
The Amityville, is that still standing?
Yes, it is.
That still there? So of all the places, the Queen Mary, the Cecil Hotel,
yeah,
Lizzie Borden's house.
Well,
apparently the WTBR studios.
Apparently.
You would go to the Amityville Horror House.
Yes.
Okay, so now
for Massachusetts, I would probably go.
Okay, so let's put you on the spot with 5 minutes left in the show.
Too lazy.
Let's put you on the spot. Why? Why would you go to the Amityville Horror House?
Just to see if the legends are true.
But you know,
I want to know truth.
You'd have to spend time in there.
True, but I want to know if it's true or not.
But okay.
I want to see if the place is haunted.
Impressive. Most impressive.
So all these places, anywhere, and you've read the legends, you've seen the movies, you've seen Poltergeist and all this other stuff. You would be willing to spend time in Amityville, New York, and this is the house is in Amityville, New York. This is a true story with the Lutzes and all that. We all know.
That's the thing. I want to know if it's a true story or if it was a sack of bull.
So all the accounts, everything that you read and watched, and all the movies and everything, you're one of those who I've got to know it for sure if it's real or if it's not real. Or what about since you're a big Eagle?
I'm a believer in the paranormal, but I want to know, darn it.
You're a big Eagles fan.
Yeah.
If the thing approached that you could go up to the Santa Monica Mountains up there where the hotel is actually located, the Hotel California. Stabbed it with their steely knives and they just can't kill the beast.
Yes.
You gotta think what Joe Walsh was thinking during that song. And they've admitted, for those that don't know, they have admitted in an interview a few years ago that the Eagles did come out and admit that Hotel California was a devil song.
Yes.
It was intended
just for that
way.
Let me see. A hotel that you can never leave. Kind of scary.
But we got a few minutes, so let's go through some of the songs that everybody talks about.
My trivia roll.
Your trivia. Go do your trivia. We got 3 minutes. Do your trivia.
The origin of Halloween actually has been traced back to the Celts, a tribe residing in Ireland and northern France. The Celts were dependent on farming, and thus they worshipped nature. The Celts were superstitious. They believed that the winter season brought death, and the last day of October marked the end of summer because November was the beginning of winter. They actually thought it brought death upon them. Okay, then. The Celtics celebrated the last day of October and believed that the dead would visit them, so they would leave food and drink outside their houses for the spirits of the dead. Halloween is thought to originate around 4000 BC, which means Halloween has been around for 6,000 years.
They're longer than the Sanderson sisters.
Yes.
And really quick, the answer to the trivia question is, what do the colors black and orange signify? Orange stands for harvest, and black signifies death. Happy Halloween on behalf of the staff and crew here at PCTV and WTBR Studios and
Happy
ourselves.
Halloween, guys.
And don't forget the one-day fundraiser, November 19th, here at the PCTV and WTBR. And who knows how much fun we're going to have
to the
when
lobby,
we're
have
on
a
the
few
air.
laughs.
Come to the lobby to the bake sale. This has been Ham On WTBR FM. Happy Halloween.